Good morning, it's 5 a.m. This is Radish, and I'm inside of my friend Haley's Sprinter van. This is Haley, Megan, and y'all know Justin. And we are about to depart Portland, drive through the Columbia River Gorge, up through Trout Lake to Cold Springs Campground Trailhead, where we're going to start our winter spring summit of Mt. Adams. Mt. Adams, also known as Pato or Klickitat by Native Americans, is an active stratovolcano in the Cascade Range of the Pacific Northwest. Mt. Adams is the second highest peak in Washington after Mt. Rainier at 12,281 feet above sea level and with a staggering 8,116 foot prominence compared to the surrounding landscape. The mountain is also the largest volcano in the Pacific Northwest by mass, with an 18-mile wide base diameter. It sits in the Mt. Adams wilderness of the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest along the Cascade Crest. Our climb follows the South Climbers Route, which takes us up the south aspect of the mountain. It begins at the Cold Springs Trailhead at 5,500 feet, follows the lava flow up via the Crescent Glacier, and traverses under the South Butte at about 7,700 feet. We then follow the prominent Sook-Storf Ridge the rest of the way up to the lunch counter, a relatively flat shelf at about 9,300 feet, where we'll set up base camp for the night. The following morning, we'll get an alpine start from base camp and begin the very steep climb up Piker's Peak, a false summit, to an elevation of 11,600 feet. From Piker's Peak, we'll traverse the saddle and ridge leading up to the true summit of Mt. Adams at 12,280 feet above sea level. This means we'll have about 7,000 feet of climbing through the snow, assuming our car can even make it to the trailhead, which means we have 2 very long days ahead of us. Well, this horrible road is now snow covered from here on out, so we're going to park the van and road walk for a while up to the trailhead. All right, we're at what is going to be our trailhead since the road is snowed over. Everyone ready and excited?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I know Kyle from work.
Hi, I'm Haley, and I know Kyle from work.
I'm Justin. Oh, canceled.
I've climbed Mount St. Helens, and I did Mount Baldy when it was technically Mount Airy. So this is my third.
So I've climbed Helens 3 times, and then Adams once.
I have climbed Mount St. Helens with you. Really excited to get really dehydrated and something. Can't wait for that.
I have this great picture
Honestly, the biggest thing was my
All right, we're on foot from here on out. We're about 1,000 feet below the trailhead, so we have probably 4 extra miles of climbing before we even get to the south climb of Mt. Adams. Everyone seems excited. Here's our first clear shot of Mount Hood to the south of us. And off to the west, Mount St. Helens is starting to peek out from behind the hill.
Oh no!
Post-hole season.
Oh yeah.
Don't think you need to worry about trying to park up here. At least not this time of year. After 4 or 5 miles of road walking, we've finally made it to the South Climb trailhead. Looks like a good spot for lunch. What an outfit. Shorts and crampons. Man down. What's going on? Hey down there. We're right below South Butte and we're starting to see some red show up in the lava rock. Oh, this climb is a slog.
I want to slit my throat.
So I think we're slightly off route and we went too high up on the South Butte because we have a little bit of a cliff to go down and then continue back up to the lunch counter. So this will be fun for us. So in the last 1,000 feet of the climb, it got super cold. We were like sweating in shorts and t-shirts earlier, and now I'm in like all my base layers, my gloves, my puffy, and my rain pants. We're almost at the lunch counter. It's the final push. You can now see down into South Butte. There's a volcanic crater on top. And then out to the east is the high Oregon Desert. We finally, 10 hours later, made it to the lunch counter. This nice, relatively flat and sheltered ledge where we are going to get bundled up, set up camp, and I have some Annie's white cheddar mac and cheese on the way. Our home for the night is set up. This is the REI Arete 2 mountaineering 4-season tent. Should keep us nice and warm and protected from the winds tonight, since we're super exposed up here on the lunch counter. There's Haley and Megan's REI 2-person half dome SL. And too bad we have these horrible views of the desert, of Mount Hood, Mount Jefferson behind it, and Mount St. Helens just under that cloud layer. And of course behind us is the full summit called Piker's Peak, which we will be hitting early in the morning. There's no running water up here because everything is frozen. So for water, we get to melt some snow. Tonight for dinner, we have Annie's white cheddar mac and cheese with a tuna packet and like half of this habanero hot sauce. And then dessert, Skittles. Yay.
I'm most excited for the Skittles that Kyle is going to share with us on this trip.
You can see the sun setting on Mount Jefferson right behind Mount Hood now. The west slopes are lighting up pink. All right, so the plan for tomorrow is to wake up pretty early, like 2 a.m. and push for the summit. So we're gonna head up this right here, that's the fall summit, Piker's Peak, and we're gonna head up the Mazama Glacier, and from there continue on a little traverse and then up to the true summit of Mount Adams. Well, it is 2:30 a.m. and our alarms just went off, which means it is time for our alpine start and the final push up to the summit. Bit of a tough start this morning. Both of my boots were completely frozen, so I couldn't even physically fit my feet in them. So, good start to the summit day. black, it's freezing cold, my shoes are still frozen, but we are ready to climb up to Piker's Peak. Here we go.
Get real, huh?
It's going to a steep section, so I just wanted to see how everyone was feeling.
Yeah. I may throw up, like for real, but that's okay. That's not a problem. It's fine.
I mean, if you start throwing up, that's probably not a good thing.
Well,
Because then you're just going to lead to more dehydration.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like it's not necessarily like just the altitude. I think it's also just my stomach being super upset.
Yeah, you weren't feeling good before you went to bed.
Yeah. I
Yeah, just take it slow. Don't, I mean, you're just gonna, if you overwork yourself, you're just gonna throw up. How are you feeling, Haley? Yeah.
Well, I think we are on the Mazama Glacier now. Looks like first light is slowly coming out to the east behind the ridge of Adams. And we're gonna stay left towards the other ridge away from the crevasses. Huh?
Glacier.
Glacier. Megan, you're on a glacier. Cool. Well, it's first light now, and it's exposing some actual crevasses over on the left side of the Mazama Glacier too, so we're gonna have to be extra careful and keep an eye out for any giant cracks in the glacier that lead into the abyss. Also, there's a really, really strong sulfur smell up here. I assume it's something with the volcanic activity of the mountain, but it smells super bad. I don't know if y'all can see it, but there is a mountain goat silhouetted out on the ridge. And there's the top of Piker's Peak, the fall summit. You can see the east slopes lighting up pink now with the sunrise. You can actually see the shadow that Mount Adams is casting on the western sky. That diagonal line right there. The goat is on the move. The sunlight's now touching the summit of Mount Hood and Mount Jefferson behind it, and now you can make out the Three Sisters behind that too. Some pretty cool ice crystal formations coming up here on the glacier. We made it to Piker's Peak, which is the false summit, and the real summit is right behind us. So from here, we still have a little bit of a climb up to the true summit of Mount Adams, but the world is unfolding around us. You can see St. Helens and pretty much a 270-degree view. So from here, we're going to cross the saddle, and then we're going to follow the exposed ridge line up right here, and then do a traverse across the ice chute and up to the true summit. Almost to the true summit. It looks like some clouds are starting to form around us. That's Piker's Peak down there. Well, we're now pretty soaked in. The summit is just right up there, but you can't see much anymore. The summit of Mount Adams at about 12,300 feet. We are totally socked in right now. This is to the north. There's Justin finishing the climb. And here's the old fire lookout buried under a lot of snow and ice. This was quite a grueling climb. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there'll be much views from up here. We're going to wait a little bit and see if this cloud passes the summit. But either way, we just summited Washington State's second tallest peak. Well, we've been up here for like a half hour now, and it doesn't seem like this cloud is passing. It's definitely stuck on the peak here. So we're gonna have to forego the views and head back down to base camp. Now we're coming out from under the cloud. Starting to see some solid ground down there. And that's Piker's Peak up ahead. Well, that's a bummer. We're back up on Piker's Peak, and it seems perfectly nice and sunny everywhere else in the Cascades. There's Mount Hood and Mount Jefferson and the Three Sisters to the south, and St. Helens to the west, and lonely Mount Adams stuck in a cloud. Oh wow! There's quite a few people going for a summit this morning now. And we made it back to base camp. So about halfway up Piker's Peak, Megan and Haley started feeling super nauseous and a little bit delirious. probably a combination of the altitude and dehydration. So they actually turned around about halfway up Hiker's Peak, and Justin and I went ahead and did the Adams Summit by ourselves. Now that we're down back to base camp, let's check in with them and see how they're doing. So how are you two feeling?
Definitely did not drink enough water. Definitely didn't get enough sleep. Definitely didn't summit the mountain.
Fucking dead.
But we're here.
We're here. We're like barely alive. We're kind of delusional and very dehydrated.
I'm most nervous that I won't make it to the top, but we just gotta push. I am super excited to see the views from the top, man.
Now it's hydration time, followed by nap time. Base camp's all packed up, and we're ready to say goodbye to the lunch counter and head back down this long trail.
I'm most nervous about breaking a knee or an ankle coming down.
I'm most nervous for going down because it's like hard on my knees, and if you can't like glissade in some spots, it's just like rough.
We are back at the Cold Springs Campground trailhead, and now we only have a 5-mile road walk back down to where we parked the van. We finally made it back to the van. That was a really long and horrible road walk. But thanks for watching, everyone. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. And we'll see you next time. Happy trails. Bye, Mount Adams.